The pyramids were built without a single coin. Here's something that sounds impossible. When the ancient Egyptians built the pyramids, they didn't spend a single coin, not one. Not because the project was free, because coins didn't exist yet. So here's the question. How do you build one of the greatest construction projects in human history without cash, without banks, and without a modern financial system? The answer was grain, wheat and barley. In ancient Egypt, wealth wasn't measured with coins. It was measured by the harvest. The pharaoh controlled vast amounts of land. Farmers worked that land. And every harvest, a large share of their crops went to the state as tax. Year after year, those taxes filled enormous royal granaries with grain. Those grain reserves became the foundation of Egypt's economy. Now let's bust one of history's biggest myths. For centuries, people believed the pyramids were built by slaves, forced to drag giant stone blocks under the whip. That story mostly comes from the Greek historian Herodotus. But there's one important detail. He wrote about Egypt more than 2,000 years after the pyramids had already been built. He wasn't there. He wasn't an eyewitness. He was recording stories that had been passed down for generations. Modern archaeology tells a very different story. Near Giza, archaeologists discovered the tombs of the pyramid workers. These weren't anonymous graves. They were honored burial sites, built close to the pyramids themselves. That's not how slaves were typically buried. So who actually built the pyramids? Many of them were Egyptian farmers. Every year, the Nile flooded its banks. During the flood season, farming stopped. So instead of working in the fields, many farmers worked on state building projects. They served in rotating crews, then returned home when the floodwaters disappeared. And yes, they were compensated. Not with coins, but with food, bread, beer, grain, and sometimes meat. Archaeological evidence suggests these workers ate surprisingly well. In fact, many enjoyed a better diet than ordinary Egyptians. This system supported massive construction projects for centuries, but it wasn't perfect. Around 1157 BC, during the reign of Ramesses III, the royal tomb builders at Deir el-Medina didn't receive their grain rations on time, so they did something extraordinary. They stopped working. Today, historians widely consider that protest the earliest recorded labor strike in human history. So the next time you see the pyramids, remember this. They weren't built with coins. They were built with grain, with taxes, with careful organization, and with the labor of thousands of Egyptians, whose wages were measured in food instead of money. If you enjoy forgotten stories like this, follow along, because history is often far more surprising than fiction.